What's good, YouTube? It's your boy God Baby straight back at it again with another episode. Well, it's really not another episode, it's just the archives. I'm finna just, show y'all the archives real quick. Finna go through it, see what that y'all talking about. You feel me? Welcome to the archives. Hold on. Oh, that's dope, bro. You can exit through there. Alright. The archives. Welcome to the archives. Bendy and the Dark Revival is filled with numerous characters that each had a critical role to play in the progression of the game. Here in the archives, you will learn a little bit more about them in an up-close and personal way. Feel free to explore. Wow, bro. Wilson was a difficult character to balance. At first, the players are purposely led to believe he is a one-note character, obviously evil with an over-the-top villain personality. But as the story progresses, we see other sides of the character, and the player becomes muddled with who this man really is. In one draft, Wilson was written as a servant of Nathan Arch Jr., a separate character at the time, but the story made far more sense when the two characters became one, eliminating a lot of needless narrative complexity. Audrey is a kind-hearted rogue with courage, determination, some flaws, and a deep, dark past. To make our story work, we needed a newcomer to the cartoon studio world, and Audrey was the perfect fresh eyes to help the adventure. I don't know if that's a typo or if I just don't understand. From day one of production, we knew that if people didn't connect with Audrey by the end of the game itself wouldn't be successful. Fortunately, she turned out to be quite memorable indeed and stands out from the other members of the cast. Yeah, bro, that's Audrey Schmurda, bro. Put some respect on her name. Audrey freaking Schmurda, gang. The Butcher Gang. Bro, look at chopped cheese. This is Carly. Oh, hell no, bro. The Keepers. Wilson's deadly guards and scientists. They aren't perfect, but the Keepers will get the job done. Deadly guards and scientists. No matter the cost, they are responsible for oppressing the ink demon inside a smaller form, keeping his power sealed away until Audrey came along and unknowingly changed the situation. The Keepers were visually designed to reflect the dangers and evils of the ink machine itself. Faceless beings made of gears and wires with no sense of morality, ordered around like cattle, a creation living without purpose. What the freak? The Butcher Gang. Barley, Charlie, and Edgar. The three original members of the Butcher Gang were formed from the ink machine, deconstructed by Alice Angel for body parts, and bond together to stay alive with sneak attacks on their prey. In Dark Revival, we meet an artificial fourth member of the gang, Carly the Ghost Girl. Although when you begin to examine her curse closely, Carly appears to be only a shell with perhaps someone inside. That's the whole, okay. So it says the same for all of them. With a person inside, Carly appears to be a shell with perhaps someone inside. Someone's inside of this thing? Bro, my sister's being loud as hell in the other room, bro. Bro, this is Edgar. Yo, can she keep it down in there? Appreciate it. Oh, here we go with Sammy. Yo, how big is this place? Sammy Lawrence, the famous music composer of the studio. Sammy Lawrence originally had a slightly larger role in the story of Dark Revival. but in a story already filled with so many characters, making them all play a meaningful part became a challenge. He was ultimately sidelined in favor of telling a more coherent storyline, although it is interesting to note that Sammy Lawrence appears to have mastered the flow ability in Bendy and the Ink Machine long before Porter and Audrey could wield it. I didn't mean to say wield it. Can't even run. Bro, how many characters? Amok, ruler of a sewer cult. Lord Amok illustrates how the world of ink had continued to develop into different societies deep within the darkest places. Though he was weak in the fight, his name will simply never die. Alice Angel, the self-appointed queen of the studio. Alice Angel is one of the most memorable faces in the Bendy world, forever lost in a tide of insanity. She is an absolute delight to write for as a character, an angel with many layers. Time will only tell if this inky temptress will ever reappear. You mean Alice Catfish? Alice Catfish. It's not Alice Angel. It's Alice Catfish, bro. Bro. Ship Ahoy Dudley. This thing is disgusting. The demented invention of Wilson, created to serve the dual purpose of dethroning the Ink Demon in the cartoon world, and also upstaging Joey Drew in the eyes of Wilson's father, Nathan Arch. Neither of these happened. Ship Ahoy Dudley is a mysterious sailor with his own eerie grin, similar to that of Bendy, along with his sidekick Crackle the Crab. It is unknown just what kind of cartoon adventures they would have had together. I didn't even realize that. That's Crackle the Crab? Big Steve, the Lurker, or Steve as he became to be known, was originally created as a brute type enemy that would free roam the way lost ones do, but ultimately felt unnecessary as the random Ink Demon encounters already fulfilled the role of putting the player on edge while exploring previous traversed locations. Yeah, he surely did. I hated getting caught by that dude. I only got caught by him like 2-3 times this whole game. In the end, the Lurker found a much better calling as an unlikely ally, effectively expanding him into more than just a typical enemy. Yeah, that nigga was a whole side quest. King Widow. I hated fighting this. Ink Widows have begun to infest where the light grows darkest. Their king, the biggest and most feared, will only emerge from his nest when its young are threatened. Whatever. Nigga was a punk. Look at the Ink Demon. Was this Porter? Yeah. As the cycle was held in place and with the influence of the Ink Demon held at bay, the cartoon world was able to grow and advance, creating such characters as Porter, a lost one, who came to claim a new identity as an explorer. Porter was written with the knowledge that Dark Revival would feature a far more serious tone than the first game of Bendy and the Ink Machine, and his lighthearted innocence will help the player feel some warmth in this inky world of sorrow. Porter was a real one, bro. I like her. Heidi, her voice actor sounded adorable, bro. Like, I don't know. It was just childish, like oh type stuff. It is believed that Heidi has spent some time in the pit, a prison set up by Wilson and the Keepers. It is unclear why, but most likely she was able to access places she shouldn't have. The experience in the pit changed her, as it does many, reverting her into a childlike state. Okay, longing for happiness again. I think, yeah, some of these have some errors. We're not gonna look at the Demon. Some of them have some errors. What the freak? It's Audrey over there. Joey Drew memory. The man, the legend, the memory. Creating this version of Joey Drew was both an exciting and daunting process. It was clear from the start that this Joey would be different from the one from the original Bendy and the Ink Machine game. This was a man with all the guilt from a past life, but without the experience to fully understand it. The real Joey Drew made many mistakes, but ultimately learned from them. This doesn't absolve him of his sins, but at the end of his life, he was able to help correct some of them and help fight the darkness he created. I mean, you can repent of your sins, repent to Jesus Christ. And he, because he paid the price on that cross, you feel me? Betty, a faithful maid among others to Wilson. Betty was an important character to the story of Dark Revival as a failed experiment and someone relatively new to the cartoon studio. She was able to give a somewhat different point of view on the state of the world. We have purposely left it unclear if Betty was in on Wilson's plot to harvest Audrey or if she is just a bystander. But behind her mask, there are still answers to be found. Bro, she is not a bystander. Her whatever drink she made literally KO'd. It KO'd. I mean, we knew it was gonna knock out Audrey. That's what it was for, but like, bro, she KO'd her, bro. And she allowed Alice Catfish to steal her, bro. Henry Stein, the original Cycle Breaker. We're not gonna act like Betty did not know what the freak was going on, bro. She knew what the hell was going on. The original Cycle Breaker. Henry Stein is the ghost of a man who lost his purpose years ago. Once filled with finding a way to escape the tortures of the Ink Demon and finding his way home to his wife, Henry is now left with the cold reality of being a recreation of the person he thought he was. Man, that gotta suck. Saved as a special surprise for fans of the Bendy and the Ink Machine game, Henry was strictly omitted from all public discussion of the character during the entire production, which spanned several years, but Henry returned with a very satisfying face reveal. Yeah, bro, his face he look a little weird, but, he's cool, bro. W. Henry. This the Alice I like. Allison. Yeah. That's who the Alice Catfish is. Susie Campbell. Allison is Allison, the second voice actor that came to take Susie Campbell's position. This is the real Angel, bro. But she ain't no angel. But yeah. Returning for another victory over the Ink Demon, Allison is always the voice of reason, a beacon of hope. Allison's design was carefully upgraded from the previous Bendy and the Ink Machine game to maintain her personality, but with more fidelity. Bro, I gotta Google that word, bro. The purpose of meeting Allison so early in the campaign was to introduce the player to a familiar face after the main introduction. Nah, they did their thing with that. At the start, Allison was able to serve as the motivating force for Audrey until the true plot kicked in later. Man, she was supposed to come save me after I defeated that freaking widow boss. Tom. Tom is Alice's silent protector and the only Boris clone involved in the main story. Where's Boris the Wolf? Rumor has it that during the events of the game, Boris is experiencing a dark survival story of his own. He got his own game, y'all. I'm gonna play that. I don't know if I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play that after this. I'm gonna drop it after this series. So, well, the series, yeah. You gonna see the game. Y'all gonna see the game, bro. I don't know when I'm gonna drop it, but I'm gonna drop it for y'all. Let's go over here and then we're gonna look at the Ink Demon. Bro, this is dope. Nathan Arch Sr. Nathan Arch was everything Joey Drew wasn't. He worked hard, built up from nothing, and never compromised his integrity. Joey had big dreams, but Nathan accomplished his own dreams. Wow. He and his wife Tessa raised a son with as much love and care as they could despite Nathan's career pressures. Sadly, his son did not share Nathan's natural talent for business and enterprise. Wilson, the annoying daughter of an animation pioneer. Audrey has blocked out the memory of her past after losing her father, but his role in her life was not over. A talented animator and artist. Her skills landed her a job at Archgate, Was it fate that led her to reunite with Joey Drew's machine, the machine of her birth, or was it planned? So she's living in the actual human world, but she's not human. Wilson, haunted by the impossible shadow of Nathan Arch, Wilson sought to achieve something that would make his father proud. By luck, he stumbled upon the ink machine and was able to become the cartoon world's new master. Holding the cycle in place, he continued his experiments that could not fully be realized until the ink demon was purged. However, unnaturally entering to and from the ink realm has taken a toll on Wilson's physical being, slowly robbing him of his health. So is he like super old, or is this a result of him going to and from the ink machine? And he's the one who moved all them stuff around to get Audrey in there. The last thing. The ink demon. Beast Bendy. Oh, okay. There's two different ones. Okay. The ink demon. Shoot, Beast Bendy way scarier. And we were Beast Bendy. As the world of Dark Revival became more complex and established, we realized the ink demon's design needed a complete rethink to match our new tone. Previous versions of his appearance looked absolutely silly when placed in the world alongside the other characters. No amount of creepy music or screen effects would conceal how out of place he looked. The ink demon needed to look different than everything else in the world and show a natural progression of the ink demon's evolution as Wilson held the cycle in place. Yeah, he looks way more different. Nigga got hooves. Like he has hooves like a goat. You know, like goats are hard-headed, and they you know, like how I don't even want to say the demon's name, but you know, it's like all that Satanist stuff, and like how to, you know, it's a half human, half goat, and it's I'm gonna just say it, you know, Baphomet and stuff like that. Like nigga is like actual demon, like nigga's an actual devil demon. They did their thing with that, cause like in the other one he was like just some skinny thing. Beast Bendy, returning for the climax of Dark Revival. Beast Bendy also was revisited with the mindset of making him far more powerful and beast-like. Traditionally, in most horror games, they tend to build to a point where the main villain becomes a final form monster as a final boss. It's practically a trope. Our idea, what if you got to play as the final form instead? That was dope. I actually enjoyed that. I wanted to, I didn't know if it was gonna let me choose if Audrey was gonna be a good guy or a villain. Oh, John, I didn't realize this was one too. Bendy, the iconic imp, was redesigned for Dark Revival to stand out a bit from traditional cartoon appearance. By giving him a suit of clothes, he posed some minor challenges, specifically creating a face that sported the classic Bendy eerie smile, but still managed to be heartwarming in the right conditions. He is a fan favorite, so his design had to be just right. During production, we originally envisioned Bendy to talk with a series of cute squeaks to contrast the dark, low voice of the ink demon, but this turned out to be very distracting, and the idea was scrapped pretty early on. Nah, keeping him quiet was the best thing they could do, bro. This has to have something, right? Yep. Designed by Thomas Connor of the Gent Corporation, stolen by Joey Drew, retrieved by Nathan Archgate. Oh wait, retrieved by Archgate, and once again reclaimed by Gent. The ink machine. Oh, that's what we saw at the end. The ink machine getting reclaimed. The ink machine's next adventure is a mystery. Wow. Okay, that concludes the archive, bro. Wow, bro. Freaking archive game. This was one hell of a game, bro. Artist rest. Comforts for the overachiever. Well, Bendy, thanks for this journey, Bendy. And thanks for watching the video, y'all. I pray y'all enjoyed the series as much as I did. I really did love this game. This game is really good. If you ever want to go play it, yo, buy it when it's on sale. Cause I bought all 3 games when they're on sale. I bought all 3 games for a total of $8, bro. Talk about a steal. But that's besides the point. Thank you, The Meatly, for creating such a good game. And I appreciate y'all. Thank you all for watching my video. So, you know, like the video, comment down below whatever the freak you want to comment. Keep the hates out my comments, or else my folks gonna fry you, bro. My folks gonna fry you. The diamonds, the OGs, the diamonds in the rough, my brothers and sisters, they gonna fry you if you out here spreading hate, bro. We don't spread hate, we spread love and positivity. You feel me? But that's besides the point. No, that is the point. That's not besides the point. Let me stop talking. Anyway, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Y'all be on the lookout for the Boris game, because I'm gonna drop it, bro. And once again, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Turn on post notifications so you know when I drop another video. And deuces.